time. We might not have time. There will be an audience Q&A. Other than that, we just ask that you stay respectful, stay quiet. Don't try to be distracting, and just try your best to listen and allow yourself to make informed decisions. As soon as the sound system is set up, we can begin. All right. So candidates, we're all good?
Yeah.
So let's just start with the opening statement then. You can introduce yourself, your qualifications, your values, anything else you want to say. We'll start from this side and then we'll move on. So you have 45 seconds each.
Hi everyone. First of all, thank you for coming and thank you for having me here. My name is Ayan and I'm running to be your next vice president. While I haven't had much SAC experience, I bring real leadership and event planning experience from working year-round as a camp counselor and coach. I know how to make ideas come to life, and I know how to lead by example, collaborate, and communicate with a diverse and large group of people. I'm passionate about student feedback and making MGCI more fun, inclusive, and connected. Overall, I'll be a leader who works with you and for you.
Thank you. Hello guys, my name is Sonia Wahidullah and I'm running to be the vice president for the year 2025 to 2026. I'm someone who knows how to communicate, listen, and follow through with things. I'm good at managing my time and I put a lot of work, effort, and dedication into what I set my mind to. And yeah, that's it.
Hi Garno, I'm Lovely G and I'm running to be your next vice president. Over the past 2 years, I've been your junior spirit convener, helping out with over 15 plus SAC events, from the Cougar auditions to Spirit Weeks to the Culture Day and Haunted House. But this campaign isn't about what I've done, but it's also about what you want. So I'm not here to test run ideas, right? Because I've already directed and made them happen. That means that there isn't going to be a learning curve. I already have a head start. I'm running to be your voice in every event. That means making actually student-led events and actually mean student-led. So let's make your vision real together.
Okay, hi everyone, my name is Amy. Thank you so much for coming in today to listen to us talk. I'm in grade 11 and I'm also running to be your next SAC vice president. So in the past, I've also had SAC experience. So I was the communications officer last year. So all the posts you saw on Instagram were made by me. And currently I represent over 239,000 students across the TDSB on the TDSB Student Senate. And I've learned how to take student voices and turn them into real action. And beyond that, I'm running because I've listened to what you guys want. Some fun events, real support, and opportunities that actually help you in your school career. And so that's why I'm planning exciting events that I'll speak about later on. But every part of my campaign is built around you because that's exactly who this role should be for.
All right, thank you, candidates. Now we'll start with the questions period. So as a reminder, again, you have 1 minute to answer. After everybody's had the chance to answer, we'll have the open discussion. So we'll start from the left side this time, start with Amy. The first question is, what are the most important things you want to achieve next year?
I really want to make sure that all the events and things that I achieve next year are centered around students. So I'm going to be focusing on making sure that all the initiatives have student input into them and that student feedback is built into every aspect of the events that we plan. So this means that during the actual process, SAC will prioritize transparency, ensuring that student voice is an integral part of every single decision that we make. And so I'm going to be doing this through opening up our meetings, our SAC meetings after school once a month, to students who want to contribute their ideas to our events. And yeah, just in general, making sure that students have more of a voice in what SAC does every day.
In regards to the most important things that I want to achieve next year, my top priority is making SAC more responsive and transparent. This means, again, monthly open meetings with food so people can help decide events. I'll also set up QR codes for year-round suggestions and launch a mini site that people can track their ideas and see what's happening, and then potentially win a prize through a lottery system monthly. I want to improve the quality of events, not just repeat them. If we're doing a carnival or a spirit week, I want to have it done better by more student choice and better marketing as well, since I saw that was a problem this year, because people didn't know about what events were happening. So I want to ensure that people always know what's happening and get encouraged and also excited about what's happening in the school.
There's a lot of things I want to do, but I wanted to start off with the main one, which is the communication part of SAC. It is really good, but I feel like a SAC could do better, and I plan on fixing this by bringing back student grade reps. And I feel like this is a crucial part for SAC because a lot of like grade 9s, they come new, they don't really know what's going on, they don't know how to get involved even if they wanted to. So I feel like the suggestion boxes and student grade reps would be a great way to start that off, and grade reps would just make communication better with each grade, and they could come back and report to SAC at the end of like the meetings, and I feel like that would be a great contribution to SAC.
My biggest goals are to make MGCI more inclusive and engaging through events that students want. I want SAC and the student body to have a greater connection and for students to have an amplified voice in the school. I want to introduce fun and community building activities like a barbecue party, carnival games, and Garno Olympics, while also pushing for meaningful things like mentored or student/teacher-led workshops on life skills and real-world problems. I'll also prioritize feedback systems like suggestion stations or post-event polls. This can happen in person or online to make sure that the students' voices are the ones guiding the decisions we make. I believe every student should feel like their voices and ideas matter. Thank you.
Thank you. So now we'll have the open discussion period. You guys can ask each other questions and just try to have a respectful debate.
Let's go first. I have a question for Sonia. You said that you want to bring back student reps for each grade, right?
Mm-hmm.
But what's the difference between because we already have home reps? So what's the difference in impact?
So I feel like the home reps, it's for me, in my experience and what I've seen, I'm like in classes and I never hear any of the home reps, like they don't really communicate it really well. And I feel like if we have something like someone responsible enough, like student grade, like the classroom reps, they're just like picked by the classmates and everything, and there's not really like, it's more like someone who's just picked on the spot, and I want someone who can like apply for it and actually like want to have the interest in actually doing it and be held responsible for it and come to all of the SAC meetings. And I feel like if we have them in all of the SAC meetings, the transparency would be even clearer instead of just having the once a month meetings and like reporting back to class, and like sometimes they forget to report, and I feel like it would just be better to have student grade reps. Okay, yeah. Any other questions?
I have a question for Sonia. You ran for president last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
What are some things you're going to implement as vice that you were planning on implementing as president last year?
So last year I remember talking about grade reps in the debate too. I really think it's a crucial part to like just the communication transparency with all of the students in the school. I also wanted to make the events better and worth the money, and right now they're very good, but they're sometimes repetitive, so people just kind of like, I've heard some students, they kind of get like bored in a way, and they want something more creative, new. So I feel like if we added like themed events and more free events, it would be like, I guess, better in a way. Any other questions?
I have a question for Ayan. Some of the events that you mentioned, including like the barbecue, the carnival, student Olympics, if they're things that we've done in the past, like we're having a Garno Olympics for the seniors this year. So how are you actually planning to improve them from what we have, rather than just repeating them?
Well, first of all, participation. I want to increase participation. I want SAC to advocate more so that more students participate. Our school is one of the most diverse in the city, not if the province. So we have all different types of people, and I would work on having all those types of people join and participate these events.
How would you actually do that though? By increasing participation?
By advocating.
By advocating like marketing?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Any other questions?
Amy, would you like a chance to make a response to anyone?
No.
That's okay. So we can move on to the next question now. Just as a note, I will ask the candidates to try to to speak a little louder so the audience as well as the camera can pick up on it. So the next question is, how are you different from the other candidates? This time we'll start with Lovely and then we'll move down to Ayan in the back.
Just give me a second. Okay. So every candidate has ideas, but I've already made mine happen, including things that I've actually led personally by myself, according with a team. So I led the Cougar auditions this year. I also made treasure hunts last year. I was one of the people who ran the Culture Day, which I know a lot of people want to bring back last year as well. I also helped co-run the haunted house that we also had last year as well. So I want to make sure that when we bring back these events, that we actually market them. And considering that I've worked across SAC, running events, designing posters, promoting campaigns, and even writing MC scripts, as I was the holiday show MC this year alongside Hamza, I don't need time to figure out how I'm going to do things. I already made it happen and I've already lived it. While others are making proposals, I'm actually building on experience. That means I'm ready to improvise and learn, but also ensure that I'm not learning from the basics.
Thank you. I'm different because, as some of you guys might know, I ran for president, so I was really dedicated to running something in the school, making an impact, and that's why I'm running this year. I really want to make an impact, make our school a better place, more spiritful, and make all the events meaningful, I guess. And I'm different because since last year, I've tried my best to give myself any experience for this position, including volunteering, work, and other events that I've helped out with. So I really, I'm good at building upon what I don't have and what I have. So I helped myself by building experiences to help me with this position. And I'm looking forward to implementing all of these experiences into this role.
What sets me apart is my real-world experience. Like I said, I work as a camp counselor and coach where I plan events, lead large groups of kids, and solve problems on the spot. These are all skills I've honed over the past year or two, and these are all skills I would need as vice president. I've already seen success in professional settings, and I'm ready to bring those results to MGCI. I'm someone who genuinely values feedback, and I won't just represent students for the sake of it, but constantly ask what they want, listen, and act upon their feedback.
Okay, what sets me apart is that I have experience at a larger scope. So basically, as I mentioned before, I was part of SAC last year as a communications officer. So I was a part of essentially every single event that we ran because every single event needed some kind of marketing to the student body. And on top of that, as I mentioned before, I was also on the student senate. So I know what it's like to plan larger events at the board level and how to communicate that. And on top of that, I've also planned events at HOSA Canada. So I planned Canada's largest health sciences competition, and we had over 8,000 attendees. And more than the resume, what makes me stand out is that I really, really value student input. And I think that student input is very important. I take everything that I hear to heart, and I try to turn it into something real. So to me, leadership isn't about putting your name on something. It's about making things better for the people around you, and that's the mindset that I'm going to bring to this role.
Thank you. So now we'll have the discussion period. Feel free to make a statement, respond to anything you heard.
I have a question for Ayan. You mentioned that you wanted to have different stations where people can offer up suggestions, right? We've had similar things in the past last year, so how are you planning to incentivize that and actually make sure that people submit their ideas?
A lot of people show up. There's a huge crowd on the first floor, so if we set up a suggestion booth there, people can come by. They can simply just ask questions or give suggestions. It doesn't have to be in person. SAC can also post Q&As and polls so that students can submit their suggestions, ideas, likes, dislikes about any events anonymously, because some people might be shy. They don't want to approach any of the SAC members in person. So I believe we can have a mix of both.
Are you saying that for people who don't want to, for people who are going anonymously, right, who want to be anonymous, you would mainstream to Instagram or something other like
Yes,
that?
yes.
But how would you do that considering that there's not everyone has Instagram, not everyone can actually go through this. So how would you offer up a suggestion for people who don't have access to that?
Well, if somebody doesn't have access to Instagram, we can try through email. We can have either the vice or the president reply and respond to those ideas and suggestions. If not, we can have suggestion boxes where students can write suggestions and just put it in the box without writing their name or anything, so that it still stays anonymous.
Nope. Okay.
Satisfactory. Okay. So now we move on to the next question. The question is as follows. Many candidates are great at making promises, but fewer are able to actually deliver on them. And all of you have mentioned other experiences outside of SAC that might keep you busy. So how will you ensure that you're able to hold yourself accountable and deliver on the things that you promised? We'll start with Sonia and then.
Okay, so I've mentioned I have experiences. I didn't really go into specifics, but I was in the basketball team this year for school, and I did have a job at York University where I worked as a research, in a research group to make a presentation for the dean of York University, and I really showed that I can be accountable and manage my time, and come through with a teamwork project. So SAC is a team, and I feel like I would be a great contribution in a team because I've had experiences where I did uphold to my promises. I made sure I finished my work on time and efficiently, and same for the basketball team. I showed up to all the practices, I made a commitment, and I put in work and dedication, and I think those experiences really helped me, and it would be a really great contribution to SAC.
I hold myself to a professional standard. If I say I'll do something, I will try my absolute best to get it done. I will take initiative by proposing detailed event plans early, communicating openly with SAC and the student body, and always being available for feedback. I'll make sure every student has a way to speak up through suggestion stations and digital polls, so I'm not just accountable to SAC, but to all of you.
Okay, I believe that accountability starts with transparency. So if I'm your VP, I'll always make sure that the student body knows exactly what I'm working on at any given time, and also how they can get involved and contribute their ideas. So I do this through providing regular updates through SAC social media, or just in person. If anyone comes up to me, I'll definitely be happy to tell you guys about what SAC is doing. But beyond that, I'm someone who prioritizes very well. I always know exactly what's going on. I'm very organized, and SAC is something that I would put at the top of my to-do list. It's something that I would prioritize a lot, because I know that a position like this has a lot of impact for the students around the school, and that's something that you deserve. And also, if something does not go to plan, I'll be honest about it and work with students to improve the situation and find a better way, because at the end of the day, I'm here to represent you. And if I'm here to do that, then I owe you my full effort and transparency and follow through.
So to answer the question, how I would hold myself accountable and take initiative, I've already been doing it for the past 2 years. I've been holding myself accountable by other members for the past 2 years. I've held events by myself alongside other teams, and I've led them to host different events in the school. Vice president means helping with every division, including marketing, logistics, spirit, and other executives. And that's all things that we should hold to the standard for vice president, and I've been doing it again for the past 2 years. I've supported them all before, and I know how to step in wherever needed and keep on moving. I've had to hold events within 1 week of planning and have to make sure that they're executed well to keep a SAC up to standard. To stay accountable, we actually had this idea last year, but we didn't properly execute it. I want to bring back the MGCI transparent account so we can actually just post really rough reels, have fun with it, maybe even have our own committee where we just film, show you guys what we're planning to do, and offer up our opportunities for you for every single event where you guys have the opportunity to share your ideas, give input, and actually make something happen for the school. That's why I became Junior Spirit Convener, because I actually enjoyed making those opportunities happen and seeing other people happy with things that I've planned. So it won't be difficult for me, as I've also to every weekly meeting for SAC for the past 2 years again. So yeah, that's how I'm going to hold myself accountable.
period. Feel free again to make a statement, respond to anything you heard.
This is an open question for any of you guys here that you want to answer. Most of the environments that you guys described are a bit different from a school environment as to how you would plan it. So how are you guys planning to navigate that, as you might come up with different hurdles that you may have not experienced in any kind of environment that you've worked for in the past?
Can I answer that?
Sure.
So where I work, it is almost similar to school. There's a large number of people, and my responsibility is to lead by example, communicate and collaborate with other team members, and make sure that the events and activities ran by me and other people are smoothly ran and smoothly operated. I would bring the same here. Yeah, that's all I have to say.
Well, I would like to add on. So I didn't mention it, but I also did work at Leacock Foundation, which is a math and literacy tutoring program. And it was in an elementary school, which is obviously not like a high school, but there was students and there were little kids, so a little harder to communicate with them. So I still came through, communicated with them. I planned events for them and activities to, help them with math and literacy skills. And I feel like I could use those communication skills and event planning skills with this position. And for smaller scale events, smaller scale like experiences that I've had, like the basketball team, I feel like it is smaller than the VP position, of course, but I did coordinate with my team. I did plan. I learned how to think on my feet in a tough position where I only had a few seconds to think and solve a problem. So I feel like those skills could help me with this position.
Okay, for me, as you mentioned before, VP is responsible for helping in every aspect of SAC, so all the positions. And that's also something that I've done in the past as comms officer. So I worked with, as you said, every single part of SAC. So I worked with social to promote semi-formal. I worked with Spirit to promote all the Spirit weeks. I helped promote all the talent shows. And I worked with the secretary as well to promote the reports that we put out. So it's something that I've had experience with, working in the school and helping to support all the members of SAC so that they can better their work. But as I said before, outside of school as well, I've had lots of opportunities to hone all the different skills that would be needed for a position like this. So communication, being accountable, being able to prioritize, working as a part of a team, and being a leader. So yeah.
Additionally, you guys could also answer to this if you want, but you said that student voice actually really matters to you, right? So I think we've heard a bit from Ayan, but you guys could answer, how are you guys actually planning to receive that information? Like, how are you planning to get student voice and actually hear them rather than just saying that?
Oh, are you asking me specifically?
Either two.
Okay. Yeah, so I think the biggest issue with student voice is we have tried in the past to offer different roads that students can take to ask us questions, like as you said before, the anonymous form, but we've noticed in general that things like this don't really work, and I think the issue stems from SAC being too separated from the student body, and we don't feel like the events that we plan, people have no idea how they come to be or the thought process behind them. So the first thing that I think that could help student voice actually improve and for us to be able to act on student voice is that it comes directly to us. So we open up our meetings, we stop treating SAC as something that's very far separated from the rest of the school. So I think that's a great way to improve student voice.
Good answer. It's going to be very similar to everyone else's. Okay. So I feel like the polls and everything, they're helpful in a way, but some people are disconnected from Instagram and social media. Some people don't have phones, but I feel like if every month, once in a while, we could set up a booth like right in front of the SAC room at lunchtime. Everyone's free at lunch, and if they have any questions, they could come pop by, ask questions, and if they want to do it anonymously, like Ayan said, the paper, like a poll paper box, that would also work really well. But at the school, it would be a really hard thing to do. So I feel like if we just set it up at lunch where everyone's free, and it could be like every month or every while, I think that would be a really good way to hear everyone's voice and input.
question period. That concludes all the questions that we had. So now we'll be giving each candidate an opportunity to make a closing statement. This will just be a 45-minute conclusion. So first we'll start with Ayan, and then we'll go to Amy.
So my closing statement is that, first of all, I'll say my name again. I'm Ayan, and I'm running to be your next SAC Vice President. I might not have much SAC experience, but I know what it takes firsthand to lead in high-pressure situations, and I know what it takes to step up and be a leader, collaborate with people, communicate efficiently, and I give you my word that if elected, I will try my best to connect SAC and student body more efficiently, have a stronger connection between these two. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you. So my name is Sonia, and if elected for next year, I will turn your words into actions, make words come into real life events, and organize things, events. Oh wow. Sorry. But yeah, I'm a leader who listens, follows through, and I will put all of my experiences from the past into this position and really work hard to make the school a better place and bring meaning into our school. Thank you. Vote Sonia for VP.
Okay. So a lot of people can say what they'll do, but I've already done it before for the past years, from planning events to promoting them to seeing them through. I've worked through every part of SAC, and now I'm ready to make it better, not just repeat different events. So my campaign is about making action about action and access. I'm not pitching my dream year, but I'm trying to ensure that yours actually happens. These include, again, making monthly meetings where we offer food, so you guys can often share your ideas. Also, creating another avenue where you guys can scan a QR code, suggest an idea, and possibly win a prize for it. So yeah, once again, I'm not pitching my dream year. I'm here to build yours, help you guys actually make it and see it happen, as I've been doing it again for the past years. Vote Lovely G for Vice President.
Okay, so my name is Amy, and you should vote for me because this campaign isn't about me, it's about all of you. Your voice, your experience, your year. I've done the work on SAC, on the Student Senate, and also at the national level. I know how to take initiative, how to plan big, and how to follow through with all my ideas. But more than anything, I'm here to make student leadership actually real and impactful and to be built around the students. So vote Amy for Vice President to build a year that's fun and genuinely made for you.
Thank you all the candidates. Let's have a round of applause. So I believe we do have maybe 2 minutes to answer for some audience Q&A. So if any audience members have a question they'd like to ask the candidates, they would get around 30 seconds to answer. So if you have a question.
No, why do you have a question?
Very slow.
Okay. One example I could give for that is Culture Day. We had a bit of issues with that last year, so that's why we didn't bring it back this year. For me to actually ensure that I'm taking these lessons, including making sure that everyone's accounted for, making sure that we have inclusivity, right? That it means we get student voice. That's why I'm trying to make sure that that happens, right? So again, opening up monthly meetings, getting people's suggestions. That's how we make sure that we're representing everyone, because that's a mistake that we've actually been repeating a lot, and that's something that's come to my attention, and I want to make sure that we don't repeat that next year as Vice President.
We have time for one more question.
We have done marketing. I've seen posters, I've seen the events, but that's not what attracts people to actually join the events. So, past marketing, how would you get candidates to participate more?
So just again for the camera in case the candidates can catch it, the question was, you guys have mentioned using marketing, social media to make these posts, but the audience member observed that these were not usually the most appealing and the most effective. So how would you actually try something different to actually raise more awareness for these events?
Is that open to anyone?
Yes, just a quick, maybe 30 seconds statement.
Okay, I'll be really fast. But I think one of the biggest issues is that a lot of our events are not accessible because they're not affordable. So something I would really focus on is making events more affordable. And I would do this through outreach to external organizations and asking for support and sponsorships. And this is something that I've done with some of the nonprofit work I've done in the past. So yeah, that's something I would focus on for more attendance, is to make sure events are more affordable.
For me to answer that question, I know that often a lot of times people are like, wait, what, this happened? Like, they don't know that things are happening. And for marketing purposes, I feel like we should also resort not only to Instagram, because a lot of people might not have access to that. You should also resort to in-person marketing so people know about SAC and who they're actually supporting for, right? They should know who's serving them and actually giving them these opportunities and events.
So like I said, the polls, the Instagram, social media, that's all things we've done in the past, and it didn't really work out the way we wanted to work out. But I also had another idea of, like, the new grade 9, like, they don't really have SAC in their school. Middle schools don't really know about this. They're really closed up in their classrooms. They don't have different classrooms. So I feel like the new grade 9s that come into our school, we educate them about what SAC is, who we are, what we do, and everything about SAC, so that they know and they're educated and, you know.
I was kind of going to say what Amy said. I work at a nonprofit, so I can get grants so that events are cheaper for the school. And also in-person promotion and advertisement can help as well, since a lot of people don't have access to social media. Yeah, that's all. Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. That concludes our debate.